Would you believe it? The seventh largest retailer on the planet deliberately loses over $40 million a year selling roast chicken at a price they set in 1985. 40 years. Same price. No inflation. No adjustment. Every financial advisor on Wall Street says they're insane. But last year, they made over $6 billion in profit. And it all starts with a $5 chicken. Elena stood in the parking lot of her second grocery store. She'd built it from nothing. Worked 12-hour days, slept in the stockroom, learned every supplier by name. But the numbers on her phone screen told a different story. Both stores combined, barely breaking even. The big chains were killing her. They could run promotions she couldn't match, buy in volume she couldn't touch, advertise on billboards she couldn't afford. She called her father, an old-school butcher who'd run a shop for 40 years. "Papa, I need advice. My competitor is running chickens at $3.99. My cost is $4.20 per bird. If I match his price, I lose money. If I don't, I lose customers." Her father was quiet for a long time. Then he said something that confused her. "How much does a loaf of bread cost?" "What?" "Answer the question." $2, give or take. And when a customer walks into your store for a cheap chicken, do they leave with only a chicken? Elena paused. She pulled up her POS data. Average basket size for rotisserie chicken buyers, $47. The chicken was $4.99. The other $42. Pasta, wine, vegetables, paper towels, laundry detergent. Her father spoke again. "Mija, the chicken isn't the product. The chicken is the leash." Elena did the math all night. She sat at her kitchen table with a calculator and a notepad. "If I drop my chicken to $3.99, I lose $1.20 per bird. I sell about 200 birds a week across both stores. That's $240 a week in pure loss. $1,000 a month. $12,000 a year spent on giving food away." Her business partner, Marco, stared at her like she'd lost her mind. "You want to purposefully lose money? On our best-selling item? Elena, we're already thin. This will kill us." "No. Listen, I looked at the register data. Every customer who buys a rotisserie chicken spends an average of $47 total. The chicken costs us $4.20 to make. We sell it at $3.99. We lose $1.21 on the bird, but we make $14 in margin on everything else in their cart." Marco sat down. "So for every dollar we lose on chicken, we make 14, but only if they walk through the door. And right now, they're walking into his store because his chicken is cheaper." She drove to the store that night, wrote a new price on the rotisserie case. $3.99. She felt sick. The next morning, the line started before they opened. Within 2 weeks, Elena's chicken sales doubled. 400 birds a week. Her loss on chicken went from zero to about $480 a week, but her overall revenue jumped 31%. She pulled the numbers and showed Marco. Before, 200 chickens a week sold at $4.99. Margin, about $160. Average basket, $47, but only half bought other items. Weekly non-chicken margin, about $1,400. After, 400 chickens a week at $3.99. Chicken margin, negative $480. But now, 90% of chicken buyers grab other items. Average basket climbed to $52. Weekly non-chicken margin, $5,600. Marco ran his own numbers. We went from $1,600 total margin to over $5,000 per week per store by losing money on chicken. Numbers simplified, but the mechanism is real. It's called a loss leader. You sacrifice margin on one product to pull traffic into your ecosystem. The chicken is the bait. The rest of the store is the hook. This is not Elena's invention. This is one of the most powerful strategies in retail history. And no company on earth executes it better than Costco. Pay attention to this next detail. This is the watershed moment that separates how normal businesses think from how billion-dollar systems think. In 2009, during the worst financial crisis in a generation, Costco's CFO was asked why they hadn't raised the price of their rotisserie chicken. His answer was chilling in its simplicity. A $5 chicken is a great price. That price hasn't changed since 1985. Think about that. The cost of everything else, gas, rent, labor, feed, has doubled or tripled. But the chicken stays at $4.99. Costco sells over 100 million rotisserie chickens per year. Industry analysts estimate they lose between $30 and $40 million annually on chicken alone. That's not an accounting error. That's a strategy. Because Costco understands something most businesses never will. The chicken is not a product. It's a toll booth. Every warehouse is designed so the rotisserie chicken is at the back of the store, not by accident. You walk past the electronics, past the clothing, past the bulk snacks, the vitamins, the seasonal items. By the time you reach that warm, golden $5 bird, your card already has $200 in it. But Costco took the loss leader model even further. They didn't want to depend on suppliers who could raise prices and destroy their chicken economics. So, in 2019, they built their own poultry processing plant, a $450 million facility in Fremont, Nebraska. $450 million. To protect a $5 chicken, they bought the supply chain. They control the feed, the farms, the processing, the packaging, the distribution. Their cost per bird dropped. Their competitors couldn't follow. They turned a $5 product into a competitive moat. Elena studied everything she could find about this model, and she realized that losing money on chicken was only step one. Step two was controlling the leash. She went to her local poultry distributor, a farm co-op that was struggling with inconsistent orders and fluctuating prices. She walked in with cash and a proposal. I want to lock in 800 birds per week at a fixed rate for 12 months. In exchange, I get a 15% discount and first pick on quality. The farm manager looked at her. Nobody buys that volume from us with a commitment. Everyone orders week to week. That's why they pay more. I'm offering you stability. You're offering me pricing power. He signed. Elena's chicken cost dropped from $4.20 to $3.50 per bird. At $3.99 retail, she was now losing only 49 cents per chicken instead of $1.21. But she didn't stop there. She noticed that customers who came for the chicken on Thursdays and Fridays always bought wine. So she negotiated a partnership with a local wine distributor. A small shelf of curated wines near the chicken display. No extra rent, no extra labor. Just a 12% commission on each bottle sold. Thursday and Friday chicken buyers now average $68 per visit. She created a family dinner deal. Chicken, a bag of salad, a baguette, and a bottle of house wine. $19.99. Her cost, $12. Margin, $8 per bundle. On top of anything else in the cart. Marco looked at the quarterly numbers and sat down slowly. We're making more money than we ever have, and we're selling our headline product at a loss. Elena smiled. We're not in the chicken business, Marco. We're in the traffic business. The chicken just happens to be the cheapest rent we've ever paid. Now pull back. Look at your own life. That $5 chicken? You went in for the chicken. You left with a new set of towels, a case of sparkling waters, and a jumbo pack of batteries. Your bill, $217. You saved money on the chicken. You spent 10 times more on everything else. That free shipping? You pay $139 a year for the privilege of free shipping. But studies show members spend an average of $1,600 a year, nearly double what non-members spend. The free shipping is the chicken. The cart is the hook. That 99-cent app you downloaded? The app is the loss leader. The in-app purchases, the skins, the upgrades, the premium features, that's where the margin lives. The average mobile gamer who makes an in-app purchase spends over $25 per month. That gym membership for $10 a month? The gym is losing money on your membership. But the protein shakes at the smoothie bar, the personal training sessions, the premium classes, that's where the real revenue lives. You think you're getting a deal. But in every single one of these systems, you are the customer who walked in for the chicken. Somebody put that chicken at the back of the store on purpose. In the ecosystem of wealth, there is a brutal truth. If you can't see the loss leader, you're not the strategist. You're the basket. Elena's story continues. She's now looking at a third location. She doesn't call herself a grocer anymore. She calls herself a traffic engineer. Her chicken still costs $3.99. She still loses money on every bird. But last quarter, her profit margin hit 14%, higher than most grocery chains twice her size. Because she understood one thing that most people never learn. In business, the most powerful product isn't the one with the highest margin. It's the one that gets people through the door. Everything after that is just architecture. Costco built a $450 million slaughterhouse to protect a $5 chicken. That's how seriously the best in the world take their loss leaders. The poor stare at the price tag and calculate the loss. The wealthy stare at the system and calculate the lifetime value of every person who walks through the door. And right now, in your business, in your career, in your life, what's your chicken? What are you willing to lose up front to build something that compounds forever? Tell me in the comments, what's the most obvious loss leader trap you've fallen for? Don't forget to follow Raw Leverage. If you don't plan to see through the rules of the game, this might be the last time we meet. But if you do, I'll see you in the next one.